This Thursday night football props edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. WynnBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100 and get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Woo! Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog.
It's my favorite part of coming to Vegas is seeing you play chicken with the guys on the other side of the glass as you just wait for the last minute to fire up the right hand. Any warm-ups this morning on the plane ride out?
Yeah, I was doing some high knees like our boy Russell Wilson, getting stretched out, getting ready to go. And, yeah, we're here live in Las Vegas in the beautiful, I almost said beautiful, Blue Wire Studios at the Wynn. And we're going to be doing our NFL Pick Show later in the day, looking at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock East, so make sure you tune in for that. But, hey, yeah, we got the Thursday night props going. We got 3 of our favorite props, first touchdown, even a little win, build your own bet. And joining us here to talk WynnBet, you know him from WynnBet, Mr. Joe Fann. What's happening, Joe?
Fellas, welcome back to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Good to have you. You look limber, loose. The separations and the preparation, man. As you can see, extra spry this morning given the flight calisthenics.
Yes.
Well, Sean does have a similar situation with the headphones, a lot of thought and prayer going on as he's visualizing victory in the studio today.
Who was it that sacked Russell Wilson and then did his imitation of him? I mean, Russell Wilson, we've been keeping track of the stat. Of course, Russell Wilson right now, 8 passing touchdowns, 12 bathrooms in his house in Denver. There's really got to be, I don't even know if he has kids. It's like him and Ciara as far as I know. Like, how do you find the need for 12 bathrooms? It's insane. I mean, Joe, as a Seattle Seahawks fan, I mean, Pete Carroll, he should win Coach of the Year just for that trade. I mean, there was like freezing cold take tweeted out the trade grade from the Russell Wilson Broncos trade, and it was like D- for the Seahawks. Meanwhile, they're going to get the Broncos pick. That's looking at like a top 5 pick. As a Seahawks fan, you got to be feeling great, right?
Yeah, even at the time, I get a lot of things wrong, as is the nature of the business we are in. But one thing I had right from the jump was I don't think the Seahawks could have gotten much more because, A, Russell Wilson had a full no-trade clause. So if another team that he didn't want to go to was offering 10 first-round picks, it didn't matter. So you get 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 3 potentially useful players. 2 of them have been big for the Seahawks with Shelby Harris and Noah Fant this year.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about the next extension you had to give him. And as we came to learn, he wanted an extension. He wanted the payday before he would even take a snap in a Broncos uniform. And so when you take all those factors into consideration, and I was of the thought, I mean, he didn't play great ball the last 2 years. I mean, he had games or spurts or halves where he did, but it wasn't consistent. And I think a lot of people will put that on Pete Carroll, where I was like, yeah, maybe Pete Carroll has his flaws, but we could look at a steep decline in the back down of Russell Wilson's career for a guy who relies so heavily on off-script magic and using his athleticism. Those back-breaking sacks are far more frequent with less of the care to the big off-script plays. So, yeah, I thought at the time it was a good deal for Seattle, and now the way it's aged, I mean, it's truly a fine wine up in the Pacific Northwest.
I mean, yeah, I saw some Broncos fans remembering when they had Noah Fant, $250 million, a bunch of extra picks, and a quarterback that could score more than 3 points and a half. 15.3 points per game. The Denver Broncos is the worst offensive output since the 2000 Cleveland Browns right now. This is all time.
And you feel so bad for Broncos fans because their defense is so good this year, and it's just a complete waste.
Well, DJ Moore did just kind of undress Surtain, not to go into a Broncos podcast.
But I mean, I think
things could be getting worse.
Emotionally, they're kind of broken as a defense. Like at some point, if your offense isn't helping you at all, you kind of just reach the breaking point. And
when the TMZ fans are like, "Hey, what's going on in Denver?" I see the players are arguing on the sideline. It's like, it's the sources close to the situations report Russ has lost the locker room.
I don't know if he ever had it. I mean, it sounded. We were getting those emails from like guys who ran into like Russell Okung at a bar, and some Russell Wilson commercial came on, and he was like booing it, or it didn't seem like he really had the locker room in Seattle. I mean, every like former player.
Pete Carroll, great coach. That's the outcome here. Pete Carroll, great coach.
He's looking really good.
We give Tomlin so much credit for having Le'Veon Bell, for having Antonio Brown, and keeping it. Pete Carroll had Russell Wilson for a lot of years, and he kept it under control.
It's funny, people in Seattle or Russell Wilson's his stands are like, why do people in Seattle keep talking about Russell Wilson? It's like, well, A, Seattle gets their first round pick, and B, it's a national story. Pat McAfee spends like 15 minutes a day on Russell Wilson, whether it's the weird marketing gimmicks, whether it's the sideline blowups, whether it's whatever, because it's such a big story, because this is a superstar who is such a unique figure, and I say that as kindly as I can.
He's like Tom Cruise vibes.
Deteriorated.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise still makes Top Gun Maverick was electric.
Yeah,
he still makes great movies.
He still has the hits that warrant. Okay,
that's the thing is
we're
when
gonna
you
put
suck
up with
at
the
football,
odd behavior.
The weirdness to you, the unrelatability to you, loses people really quickly. And on top of that, you got paid $260 million prior to playing a snap.
The dead cap hit alone is just insane.
Tom Cruise never laid an egg in any Mission Impossible.
This.
He brought it. Did his own stunts. We got to find a better analogy.
Well, it is
Pauly Shore, maybe.
Well, I think
the fall was fast.
I kind of view it as the Step Brothers job interview scene.
Yeah.
Where they're interviewing with Seth Rogen, and he's like, this is funny. It's kind of like you guys are wearing the tuxedos. I like it. Let's get going. And then he rips out that hellacious fart, and he's like, you know what? It's weird now.
Yeah, you went too far.
I thought you guys were cool and whatever, and now I can taste your fart, and like, I want you to leave as soon as possible.
Well, when you're winning,
that's sort of it.
When you're winning, it's quirky, it's fun, it's Russ being Russ. But when you're losing, it's like, who is this guy?
Does that analogy work for you guys?
No, it's very good. I'm enjoying all of this Russell Wilson.
It has gotten weird with Russ. That's probably the best way
I did put a calendar alert in the calendar for July that says, do not fall in love with Russ again for next year as a bounce back candidate.
I definitely thought like, okay, the thumb, because there was, and maybe it was like 2020 where those like first 5 games, him, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, he was balling out. And then, he got banged up, the hand thing. You're like, you could kind of talk yourself into, okay, whatever, but it is just falling off.
The
hard.
switch flipped midway through the 2020 season. I was still on the beat at that point, and halfway through the year, I mean, he was unquestionably the midpoint.
He was
MVP.
like MVP.
I mean, it wasn't close either. I mean, the numbers were astronomical, and then it just shut off.
It's crazy.
And it hasn't been the same since.
Yeah.
Maybe the better analogy is you fall in love with a girl at the club and you marry her, and it turns out it's not like Saturday night every night once you lay down.
You're 4 hits and you're like,
there's a movie about that entire scene. It's called The Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller, and it's an awesome movie. He meets this girl and she's amazing, and they fall in love and they get married really quickly. And the second they get married, the switch flips, and it's like, the job that you told me you had, you're just volunteering. You don't actually have a stream of income. All of and it's just this nightmare. And they go to Mexico on their honeymoon, and it's a good movie. I would highly recommend. Underrated comedy.
Movie poster Photoshop job, please.
Oh,
if Jake's listening.
Kid starring Russell Wilson. Love it. Hey, of course, as always, we're brought to you by WynnBet. Again, looking to get down on the same game parlay. We got our Wynn Build-A-Bets coming up. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet to get started today. Of course, bet $100. Get a $100 free bet over at WynnBet. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. We're also brought to you by Rocket Money. That's right. I hate paying for stuff that I don't use. I hate paying $9 for a bottle of water. I just hate getting ripped off. And if you, I'm reminded of that every time I come to Vegas, like $9 Why just charge me 11 if you're really gonna just screw me? And Rocket Money is great because there's so many subscriptions you sign up for. You get the free trial, you completely forget about it, and then next thing you know, you're getting billed $7.99, $4.99. It adds up. Rocket Money is great. You see all your subscriptions in one place, can cancel with just one button. Get started today, rocketmoney.com/SGPN, rocketmoney.com/SGPN. All right, let's get to it. Let's start talking Thursday night props. Obviously, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Kramer, kick it off. What's your first prop here?
Before I kick anything off, I do, and I'll rehash this probably on the pick show, but I was doing a little bit of a deep dive, and this stood out to me. This is the first time Josh Allen is playing New England in New England, not on Week 16 of the season. His previous 4 games against the Buffalo Bills, or against the New England Patriots in New England, have been Week 16. All 4 years. That's insane. So, that being said, I'm going to take you to a Josh Allen prop. I'm sure you're going to have this take too, Sean, but Bill has done pretty poorly against the rushing quarterbacks. Yep. Specifically, if you look at how often the quarterbacks are hitting their overs, Justin Fields way over, Lamar way over. It's not even close. I probably should be recommending alt rushing totals here. Stay tuned to the Build-A-Bet maybe. But Josh Allen to go over 42.5 rushing yards. This is a critical game now, and we know when the back is against the wall for Josh Allen, he decides to use his legs. I think the pass defense of the Patriots, too, is going to be a problem. And I think, quite frankly, Belichick will be fine if Allen is running most of the game. So I love this one. I think it's going to be a big funnel. Josh Allen to get 100 yards is in play, over 42.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cosign Josh Allen, over 42.5 rush yards. You nailed it. And even last year, 18 carries, 130 yards against the Pats in between those 2 games. And I think the Patriots, like their run defense against the running backs is pretty good. It's really just with the quarterbacks that they struggle. And your point, he seems kind of desperate. He's struggling with the short passes because of that elbow injury. How do you replace short passes? You do it by running the ball. I mean, I just don't see how he's going to get like 9 to 10 rushing attempts. And if you're giving Josh Allen 9 to 10 rushing attempts and his prop is set at the low 40s, like you're crazy not to take the over.
Well, I mean, listen, when you're a kid and you got a little slingshot, maybe it's a Nerf gun, and it stops shooting, you know what it still works as? Something you batter people over the head with. So that's what Josh Allen's going to do here because his arm's broken.
I like that analogy. It's like I can't use my cannon arm, so I'm just going to bash people by running over. And he is one of those quarterbacks that's not afraid to lower his shoulder and try and run over you. What do you got, Joe? What's your first prop you like here?
Yeah, looking at the receiving props, if you go to Buffalo, New England's run defense is tremendous. Buffalo also very quick to just ditch the running game, which is why I like Josh Allen from a scrambling standpoint, design run standpoint. But also you look at the discrepancy between Gabe Davis at 50 yards or 49.5 and Isaiah McKenzie at 30.5. Give me Isaiah McKenzie, who had a big game last week, 10 targets, catches 6 balls for 96 yards and a touchdown. He had a touchdown last year against New England. Gabe Davis is pretty unreliable. Most of Josh Allen's interceptions have come when targeting Gabriel Davis. He's had a big issue with drops this year. It's been boom or bust. I like Isaiah McKenzie, a very modest number at 30.5. I will take that over.
Yeah, and a bit of a kind of one of the, perhaps an outlier, perhaps not, but New England's pass defense is they're great against every position on the field except for the quote number 2 receiver. So I mean, we see what Buffalo does when they the offense is struggling. What happens? Well, let's scheme some stuff up for Isaiah McKenzie. I like that angle because I do think that the Gabe Davis number is always going to be broken because he either has like 120 yards, or like a catch for 19.
Yeah, no, it's like if you like Gabe Davis, play his alternate total and just go for it all.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, like some sort of crazy game. But again, I don't know what it is about Isaiah McKenzie. They seem to just be working him in more. And what happened in that Detroit Lions game, Okudah was out, and they're like, all right, we're screwed. So we're just going to have to put everyone on Stephon Diggs, and that created a ton of opportunity for Isaiah McKenzie. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Belichick, he's known for stopping like, hey, you're one player, your best guy, and him going after Stephon Diggs and like doubling him up or like rolling coverage, whatever it is, creates a ton of opportunities for Isaiah McKenzie. So I like that angle as well.
If you look at Gabe Davis's game log this year, he doesn't have a single game from 40 yards to 60 yards.
Yeah, that's insane.
So either you take the under
yes,
or you take an alt line
Yeah.
because he's been 13, 37, 35, 33. Last week on Thanksgiving, 38, but then he said 68, 93, 74, 171, 88. So why take 50 when you can go 60 plus, get a little bit juicier or even go bigger, 70, 80, because he is the epitome of a boomer bust player.
Speaking my language.
my next prop, give me Mac Jones under 226.5 passing yards. I mean, if you watch that game against the Vikings, it was like in the dome. You know, everything was going right. Minnesota's pass defense is really kind of dog shit. I mean, Nelson Aguilar was getting involved. Like, it was the perfect game for Mac Jones. Now you're coming back at home Thursday night. These Thursday night games end up being uglier. It's going to be a little chilly in Foxborough. I think Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia, I don't know how much they trust Mac Jones. And
you
Buffalo's,
didn't mention Joe Judge when
yes, exactly.
not part of the handicap.
And Mac Jones, I mean, Buffalo is allowing 221.5 pass yards per game. And that number is actually kind of inflated because they played those back-to-back games in Detroit against the Lions, against the Browns, who got a ton of garbage passing yards. And Buffalo's defense is getting healthier. They're getting Epinesa back. They're getting some of their safeties back as well. So I think they're gonna. I think Rhamondre has a decent shot at having a game, but I don't see Mac Jones throwing for a ton of yards in this game.
Well, and part of what you're describing, since Mac Jones came back and took over the job from the Zappy Hour, it's been 8 targets to Rhamondre, 7 targets to Rhamondre,
He's
7
been involved
targets
in
to
the
Rhamondre,
passing game a
6
ton.
targets, 10 targets last week. Give me Rhamondre over 50 receiving yards. I'm alting this a little bit, plus 180 on that one. I think
like
the
it.
actual number is somewhere in the 30s.
35 and a half.
Yeah,
in that
so
ballpark.
I'm gonna juice it up. Give me Rhamondre to have 50. He's had 50 receiving yards in 4 of the last 5 games. And again, to your point on Mac Jones, which will transition to my next prop, but Mac Jones is not doing anything risky.
Yeah.
And so Rhamondre is going to get a heavy volume, especially with Harris out of this one.
No, he's going to be involved. And to your point, I don't know what it is. They just decided to start throwing him the ball as well. I don't think he has much competition.
And fun fact, like I actually went through, he's actually gone over a ton of his rushing yardage props. He's going under where his attempts line is at now, 15.5. So there's a lot of he's obviously a popular play to play over. So I had to get creative to find my good over here.
What about you, Joe? What do you got for a second prop here?
Yeah, another value receiving yards prop, I think, and that's DeVante Parker over 35.5. And now the volume isn't necessarily there for him, but he's sort of, I guess, a Gabe Davis type player. I mean, certainly not the big games that you've seen this year to that degree, but he ran more routes than anybody on that roster last week against Minnesota. He had 4 catches for 80 yards. He's a big play, dude. It could take just a couple of catches for him to get there. I think at some point the Bills will score, and so I don't see this being the 3-3 game we saw against with the Patriots and Jets a couple of weeks ago. So I do like Stevenson. I think it's going to be check down city, like you said. Mac Jones desperate just to keep his job, and so want to stay in the good graces of Bill Belichick. But DeVante Parker at just 35.5. When you compare that to Jacoby Myers, who's at 49.5, sort of using the same logic as the McKenzie pick. I think 35.5 is a very fair number for DeVante Parker.
I like the angle too, because if you talk yourself into him being the quote #1 receiver, or at least lining up with the #1 guys, you look at what Amon-Ra St. Brown did, you look at what Amari Cooper did, you look at what Justin Jeff. This team has kind of been getting shredded by #1 receivers. They're strangely actually 28th in DVOA against the #1 receiver. They're elite, so elite everywhere else. But this Bills defense has definitely struggled against that position. So like that.
DeVante Parker also has tons of experience playing against the Pats defense with his time down in Miami. His career average against the Patriots, 49.
He plays for the
yards.
Patriots.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Yeah, that was a good one, though.
I completely whiffed on that. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking he was on the Bills. I'm like, wow, his numbers
against
against
the Dolphins. Now he plays.
I was like, he has tons of experience against Belichick.
He does have a lot of experience
nugget.
against the Bills as well.
Yeah.
So
it's a good angle.
There you go. Yeah, wait, let me
just spent his career in the division.
Just redo it, but for the Bills.
Okay.
Yeah. And if they're not that good, make them up.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. DeVante Parker has a ton of experience against the Buffalo Bills. He's averaging 64.1 yards per game against this Bills defense.
Great pick.
Excellent work. he is the big body guy, contested catch guy too. So hopefully Mac Jones doesn't throw too many to him, because I'm actually going Mac Jones under a half interception. Came into this, went to the interception prop with the pure intentions of taking Josh Allen to go over his interception prop, but it was minus 150, Sean.
Yeah, finally they figured it out.
So then I was like, maybe Mac Jones is actually not throwing interceptions. Why? Because he wants to keep his job. So then I was like, well, Josh Allen versus Mac Jones. Maybe that's the angle. Oh, no, minus 140. So if you like the Josh Allen to throw one, maybe you take him to go versus Mac Jones. But I'm just going to take Mac Jones under. That's plus 115.
Plus odds, yeah.
And he hasn't thrown a pick in the last 3 games. The couple good defenses in there, the Jets and the Colts, who are both top 10 pass defenses, strangely enough. And, yeah, I think the way that they're playing the game and the way that he is not really taking risks, checking it down, working in the tight ends, working in the running back, and I expect them to run the ball a bunch in this one. Mac Jones doesn't throw a pick, 4th straight game.
For me, I'm going Devon Singletary under 53.5 rushing yards. I think New England can just stuff the run. Last 3 games against New England, 64.7 yards per game they're allowing. They just don't let up a ton of yards on the ground, regardless of who the running back is. Now, they do let it up against rushing quarterbacks, like we're saying, but Devon Singletary, I don't know if he's going to have a ton. I just don't see him getting the carries, getting the usage. I think it's going to be a big Josh Allen game. And, Dawson Knox, who is actually, Patriots are pretty bad against the tight end, but I got some plays on that later on. What about you, Joe? Any other props you like here?
I think it's always safe to take a Stephon Diggs over.
Yeah.
He has been wide receiver 1 this year for much of the season. If you're looking at just purely fantasy stats, I think 83.5 is a fair number for him. You know he's going to be in the ballpark. He didn't get there against the Lions, but the man had 15 targets. So when the volume is there to the degree in which it will be, again, I'm assuming that the game flow will be pass heavy for the Bills, given how good the Patriots are against the run. Again, Dalvin Cook last week, 22 carries, just 42 yards, a 1.9 average, only had a long of 6. So I think Stephon Diggs at 83.5 is a pretty fair number. He'll probably finish right around there, but at least as you're watching a prop, the volume will be there to get home, and he'll be somewhere in the ballpark. He's not going to lay an egg and end up at like 45. He'll if it misses, it'll miss narrowly.
Yeah, you're getting a discount too, because the previous, he had past 2 games went under, but he was crushing it before then. 148, 108, 93, 128. So you're getting a nice cheap price here. Good bad matchup. So
and I know some of the Pats secondaries banged up. I know Jalen Mills dealing with a groin thing. So
Jabril Peppers late add to the injury report. I'm sure that has no impact on that, but shout out to my guy.
Pass rush maybe impacts it a little bit. All right, let's talk everyone's favorite first touchdowns. Ryan, we're coming off hitting Sunday night. Kenny Gainwell, 30-1. That was pretty awesome. Didn't hit it on Monday night, but who was it on Monday? It was super chalky. It was someone we wouldn't have.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. Yeah, no interest in that.
Not only did we hit Sunday night, I actually gave you the first touchdown scorer for both teams. So if you had played them independent, you would have cashed out extra special.
Now we're talking some DGen only. That's next level.
I see guys, when we give these out, they also play them as like first touchdown for
that team. Yeah, because usually we give out 4, maybe split up however much you're going to bet.
Right? Was Pittman? That's Monday.
No, that was Monday. It was the running back, and it was Gainwell. I forget the other one, but anyway, yeah. No, Sean's come around on spreading the unit across 4 different plays.
Sometimes I do full units. Sometimes I do 3, but I'll do 4 for this one. For me on the Bills side, I'm keeping it fairly chalky. Josh Allen, I think even at 9-1, that to me is the cutoff. If it's a rushing quarterback and you're getting 9-1, I'm still on board. If it's below 9-1, like Hurts was 6-1, I just don't think it makes sense.
8-1 is the cutoff.
8-1. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
So we're good there. Dawson Knox, 18-1. Love that one. And then on the Patriots side, I am rolling the dice. Mac Jones, 40-1.
Dickhead.
And then one more on the Bills, actually. I forgot I included this one. Nyheim Hines, 40-1. Just because they traded for this guy, they haven't used him at all. I feel like he's just due to get involved somewhat. And he's involved in the return game. 40-1, Nyheim Hines.
Nice.
The return touchdown would be electric. That's how it started.
I like how you brought I mean, that's a classic Sean tout right there. Just squeak it in, because when it hits, it's going to be so sweet. Yeah, I mean, mine's simple. You stole 2 of my plays because it's a quarterbacks and defense system play. We're going Josh Allen, as you said. I saw 950 earlier, 9-1, whatever that is. Mac Jones 40-1, and I'm also playing both teams' defenses.
Oh,
I think
nice.
there's reasons to be cautious about both offenses. I know I told you Mac Jones under an interception. To your point, special teams can get involved. It's a divisional game. It's a game that is always played later in the season, and weird stuff happens. Didn't see a ton of value up and down the board based on how these teams played, so played both defenses. 30-1 for Buffalo, 35-1 for New England.
Love it.
Immense odds on Josh Allen when you compare it to Devon Singletary. I mean, Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns this year than Singletary.
Yeah,
so it's just giving the chalk that is because it's the starting running back.
Yeah,
but Josh Allen has more. He's found the end zone more as a runner this year. So I like the Josh Allen play. Again, for the same rationale I gave you earlier, McKenzie over Davis. Gabe Davis is 1,100. Why not take the extra, plus 400 at Isaiah McKenzie? It's at plus 1,500.
They like to use him in gimmick plays too, which means red zone.
He's scored before against the Patriots. The Patriots are a total crapshoot. I have no idea. I mean, Rhamondre Stevenson just makes sense as a chalk play because he gets the most usage. We talked about his usage as a receiver. He's their starting running back. He doesn't have competition there. If you're going to go pass catcher otherwise, you're really just flipping coins.
Yeah.
And you might as well just look for the biggest odds you can find. And, that's Kendrick Bourne at plus 2,500.
Ooh, I like that.
Because who is to say that he is that much worse of odds than Jacoby Myers, who's scored twice.
No, I like that play. And because Bourne, a lot of Patriots fans will tell you that Bourne's the best receiver on their roster, but he doesn't, for some reason, he doesn't find his way into enough situations.
I mean, he is. I know when he was in San Francisco, he was the slant specialist.
Yeah.
And when you're inside the 10, inside the 5, that's a route that can get you home. So, I would say those are my 3: McKenzie, Josh Allen. Well, 4. Then Rhamondre Stevenson. Take the chalk when it's there, and then Kendrick Bourne.
I'll be honest, Ramondre's price is not as chalky as we'll see for elite running backs who are the clear,
especially
clear.
Damian Harris. Yeah.
Well, he's also the clear goal line. It's not like he's sharing with any sort of other running back, not the quarterback. And so even his price 550, 6-1 isn't the worst, but it's just no fun to take.
No, it's zero fun. I get it.
All right, now everyone's favorite part: the DegensOnly, aka Wynn, build your own bet, same game parlay, of course. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Build your own same game parlay. All right, so for me, it's gonna run through Dawson Knox, 2 touchdowns.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes, Dawson Knox, 2 touchdowns. Just that alone is plus 2,900. If you want to tie in the result, you can put in Buffalo minus 6.5 and get that up to 40-1. So I'm giving you a couple options there.
Shouldn't you? What you should look up what the counter price is for Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox.
I don't know when the last time we spoke to you, Joe, but in between then and now, I think Sean may have the reason he's going back to the 2 touchdown tight end. Well, is he gave out an Austin Hooper 2 touchdown prop that hit.
Okay.
80-1.
Yes.
So we're going to be hearing a lot of these for the rest of the season, for sure. What do you?
Okay, so hear me out here.
I'm telling you, we shout out to Sully, but he did tip us onto something. If you counter correlate, so you give a Bills prop, but you still have the Patriots to win.
Okay.
You get a much better.
So here's what we'll do. I'll do Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns plus 2,900, and then if you want to go full degen, Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns, and then tie it with New England plus 3.5. That is 90-1 over on Wynn. So the Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns, I like that as a bet because in teams that have played 11 games, New England have allowed the most touchdowns to the tight end at 8. Now, Cardinals have played 12 games. They've allowed 9. But other than that, teams that have played 11 games, 8 touchdowns to the tight end.
I love it.
And then New England plus 3.5. I mean, that's essentially almost what the spread is at 90-1. Oh man, that is delicious. Joe, what do you? I'm getting hungry.
I'm worried
over
you're
here.
going to throw yours up though when you hear mine.
I hope you hit it. I hope you hit it so badly.
Joe, what do you got?
It's funny that you look at the lines of this game and how the last year, the Patriots beat them last year in the regular season and then got to the postseason and it was a bloodbath. And so I have no doubt the Bills are the better team here. It's in New England. The Bills have been scuffling a bit. I mean, they needed a last-second field goal to beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. It wasn't pretty for the first half against the Browns. They've got, 1 touchdown in the second half of the last month.
It's not good.
It's not great, and yet I'm still going to go. I'm just going to go Bills to win.
Okay.
Just to win. Alternate over of 35.5 because if Dawson Knox is going to score twice, you can have some points in there.
Exactly.
DeVante Parker, 40 receiving yards. Stephon Diggs, 70 receiving yards. Rhamondre Stevenson, 30 receiving yards. Isaiah McKenzie at 40, and Josh Allen at 40 rushing yards.
Let's go.
20-1.
I like that Joe realized that we just love the big stuff. Just bring it along. Your receipt needs to be long. Like you got to fold it up 4 times when you put it in your pocket.
Size matters when it comes to length of your
It's
parlay.
only 7 legs.
Yeah.
It's only 7 legs. Not 10, not 15, just
All right.
7.
You ready for this, Sean?
20-1.
Yeah.
Because there's a situation out there that I think the listeners. Do you want a 250 to 1? Is that?
Yeah, why don't you give 2 versions? Why don't you give like the regular and then the souped up 200? I mean,
I'm excited for
you can't work up a 250 to 1 and not share it with the audience. That's criminal negligence. It's sports gambling podcast.
There's like the baby versions that are 14 and 20 to 1.
Yeah,
there's the adolescent 70 to 1.
It's like a Russian nesting doll. There's like a small version, a medium.
We're essentially round robining some things.
Really good analogy there, Sean. I like that.
We're round robining some stuff. So obviously I like Stevenson receiving yards. So 50 plus receiving yards, we're going to throw that in. We're going to take Josh Allen 50 plus rushing yards. We're going to throw that in. If you do that parlayed with both guys to score a touchdown, it pays 20 to 1. If you say, oh, okay, maybe I don't want the yardage, and you just go 2 touchdowns for each guy parlayed, it's 70 to 1. But if you really want to be a boss, and you do 50 receiving yards for Rhamondre, 50 rushing yards for Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns each, you get 250 to 1. Now, you probably feel like I just pulled a magic trick on you. Because how the fuck is Rhamondre, he's 6 to 1 to score the first touchdown, so 2 touchdowns, not the craziest. Josh Allen, 950 to score the first touchdown, 2 touchdowns, not crazy. Look at the way that Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson ran all over the place. And then just a couple yardage props. Let's go. I'm in Vegas. We're going. I mean, after this, we're going to go sweat some Mexico, Saudi Arabia soccer, and we're going to have an amazing sweat on Thursday when this banger comes home.
Hell yeah!
I'm just picturing they've cleared the yardages, and one of them scored 2 touchdowns, and Sean is just screaming at the TV for the last touchdown.
Welcome to my world.
What you did is you just triggered a memory in my mind of when Sean was. We had gotten an inside tip on the Puppy Bowl.
Oh no!
This was probably 2017 Super Bowl. We had gotten a tip on the Puppy Bowl. I was hosting it at my place. Sean was out and we're like deep frying a turkey. Sean, before the people show up, Sean's alone in the garage watching the Puppy Bowl, just screaming at the TV, realizing the inside info we had received was completely faulty.
Oh, no.
And so if we can only have a sweat that good.
He told us the Puppy Bowl has already been taped. Team Rough destroys Team Fluff. And then I watch and Team Fluff trots out this 3-legged dog, and me working in the TV industry, you don't let the 3-legged dog lose on national television. They rallied around this dog. The 3-legged dog ended up winning MVP, most valuable pup. It was if a Puppy Bowl could be a bloodbath, it was from the onset.
Did you get irresponsible with that wager?
Well, put it this way:
thinking that you were Martha Stewart with the inside intel.
I opened additional accounts. Like I got my girlfriend, now wife's name. I'm like, listen, you're gonna open up this offshore account. We're gonna get you to deposit some money.
Fortunately, they keep the limits pretty low on that kind of thing.
It was the you know what bailed me out, because it was the Puppy Bowl before the Patriots Falcons game, and I had Patriots -3.5 huge. So they had to get it to overtime and then win with the touchdown in OT.
Shout out James White.
To cover the 3.5, and I was live betting it throughout, chasing my Puppy Bowl losses. So I think I ended up actually winning money on that Super Bowl after the massive Puppy Bowl loss.
If it wasn't for the Puppy Bowl loss, I wouldn't have gone so big on the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The sentence "chasing my Puppy Bowl loss" is wild.
Feels like an Urban Dictionary look up later.
Hey, we live it. Some people pretend they're degens.
Ain't
but
no
we know
hobby.
they're not.
Ain't no hobby.
It's a full-time job, Joe. Well, Joe, always appreciate coming on. Make sure you follow Joe on Twitter @Joe Fann. Check out all the stuff he's working on. Yeah. And wait, it's Joe_Fan, right?
Joe_Fan. Appreciate you guys.
Got
Always
it.
fun. Great to have you guys
always
back in Vegas and do it in studio.
Yeah, always love making it out to the studio. Of course, make sure you head up sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Hit subscribe on YouTube. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss us going live for the NFL Pick Show, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock East. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Sean, you forgot to let people know I brought a prop for the show tonight.
Kramer, let it ride.